So let's talk about some stuff that I don't have video or pictures to drop in. The roaster, for starters. The roaster will be in about 2 weeks. So it's not, obviously it's not here. It's coming from Taiwan. I think it was manufactured in Taiwan. I did go up for roaster training, and honestly, I could have learned everything that I learned at that in 30 minutes. And I know you know that any, continuing ed training or professional training that you go to, 3/4 or 7/8 of it is just a waste of time. You could do, so really it's about meeting other people who are doing the same stuff. That's really what it's about. But in terms of actually learning anything, that's about all we learned. So here's what I learned. I got to get my roaster, and I got to figure it out. I mean, that's unfortunately what small business has always been. It's always a function of getting your stuff, figuring it out, figuring out how to make money, and doing it. So that's the roaster. I'm kind of excited about it. It's interesting because I don't know if I told you, but I went down and met with TJ and Caleb and had the breakup meeting with them. TJ really thinks it's a bad idea. He thinks that I should keep buying coffee from them, that roasting is much more complicated than I think, and that I can't actually save any money doing it. My numbers show me that I could save up to $30,000 if nothing changes in terms of my sales, meaning my sales continue as they are. I keep using the same amount of coffee. That's a lot of money in a year. So let's say I only save $10,000 and I'm still doing my own thing. Now granted, I'm having to put some of my own time into it, but God, I got to tell you, man, I'm actually interested in doing it. It's getting me excited about the business again. Plus, it gives Cara somewhere to go and something else to be doing other than managing a drive-thru, which is boring. So that's that. San Francisco trip's coming up in 2 weeks. Beth and I leave actually in about 12 days. I'm kind of only moderately excited about it. Let me tell you why. Because the swim that I'm doing, the Alcatraz swim, there's nobody else going that I know. And I just experience just for the sake of experience is not that interesting to me anymore. Sure, it's going to be interesting. At least Todd is going the following week to do the triathlon. So he'll be doing the same swim. So in that sense, at least I've got somebody to compare notes with. But no, I'm not actually that excited about it. But Beth and I are going down. So it's actually going to be our 25th anniversary, which was this past May 16th, 4 days ago. So we're going to go down. We're going to be there for 4 days. I actually haven't really even had a chance to look in to see what we're going to be doing. Or the things that I'm interested in, or the things that she's interested in, or what we're going to, because the problem is San Francisco's too big to just get there and just wander aimlessly around. I want to go and, I want to have some theme maybe, or just some things that we plan on, that we're interested in. Maybe for Beth it's textiles, and maybe for me it's, I don't know what I want to do. Marshall, so let's, Marshall and Isaac's Odyssey. They did start their trip. As far as I know, the last I heard, the only thing I've heard is that they crossed the border into Canada at Sault Ste. Marie, which, as far as I can tell, is a lot like, it's like the modern day version of Osgiliath. So Sault Ste. Marie, actually, there's a Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, and a Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. But it's all one city, you know what I mean? It's just separated by whatever that body of water is. And then one half is in Canada, one half is in the U.S. So I asked Marshall if he could see any orcs, but he didn't even bother to answer me. So he did say, though, that they had a very, very thorough drug search, including a very cute drug dog. And I blame it on Isaac being a long hair. Also, I did pack them with a whole suitcase full of whole bean coffee, which is always kind of suspect. Anyway, apparently they made it across the border. I've not heard anything. So one thing that you asked, Dan, is what are they going to be doing? Any, blogging or Facebooking or anything to document their trip? Honestly, I hope that they don't do anything that documents their trip for everybody else who's not on the trip. Do you remember when we went on that? What do we do? We documented it in a small diary, but what we did is we did stuff. We interacted with stuff. And the last thing I want them to do is experience their trip through a screen or through Facebook. I mean, I want to know what they're doing, but I don't want to check in with them. I'm not texting them finding out what they're doing, where they are, how things are going. Do you need anything? They're 18, as I told Beth. She asked me, "Do you think they're going to be okay?" It's like, yeah, they're going to be okay. I mean, there's a lot of really nice people out there in the world, and they might run into some, run into some dopes. But for the most part, they're going to run into just a lot of really nice people, and they're going to figure it out. They're going to have some car troubles. They're going to, all of these things are going to happen to them on this trip, and they're going to be fine. And so I've really struggled with, do I want to see pictures? Kind of, but no, actually, I kind of don't. I want them to go and do their own thing and to be their own people. If I don't hear from them for a month and a half, then that's fine. I'm assuming I'll hear from my aunt and uncle when they get there. I'll hear from, Beth's brother Steve when they get there. I'll hear from my cousins when they get to Atlanta. So yeah, I mean, did you call your folks when we traveled around the country? Obviously I must have contacted my folks because we showed up on their doorstep, so they knew we were coming. But outside of that, I just, granted, we had to use payphones, but still, that's irrelevant. So anyway, I think their trip is going to be fine. I mean, even now, I hate to do stuff. I don't often get on Facebook. I would just rather be experienced, doing things, whatever it is, whether it's swimming or golf or rugby or working on the bathroom or whatever it is, rather than spending time on the computer. And actually, interestingly, I do make an exception for you because I think it's important. I was talking to Allison about this. I went out to lunch with her on Friday. And I said, it's, by the time we are in our, mid-70s, we will have had 60 years of friendship. And that kind of thing, especially given the fact that, you love living in Pendleton, and I don't imagine I'll ever live in Pendleton, and you don't imagine you're going to move. I don't think I'm going to move. I might move somewhere, I don't know, but not to Pendleton. We're not likely going to be living in the same place ever again. And so we have to do something to, to support and maintain our friendship. And this is one of those things where I am willing, albeit erratically, willing to make videos and to do some computer stuff. So anyway, whew.